people give up too soon because they're not getting enough views. You literally could be a year away from that video that you just made taking off because you just stopped uploading.
Give yourself 10 years. Give yourself 10 years at this craft, making videos, posting them online, getting made fun of for at least 5 of those years.
Easy
and then
5.
maybe at the end of 10, maybe you'll have a little bit of success.
You had no money. What would be the first 10 videos you tried to make on a new channel? I guess that's advice for a new person. And nobody knows you.
Yeah, nobody knows me. Yeah, like hypothetically, I have a mask on.
And you also, I guess, don't have the wisdom.
But if I don't have what I have in my head, then I would say just fail. Like, just a lot of people get analysis paralysis, and they'll just sit there and they'll plan their first video for 3 months. And
yeah,
I'm any of you listening, if you, especially if you have 0 videos on your channel, your first video is not going to get views. Period. It's not. Your first 10 are not going to get views. I can very confidently say that. So stop sitting there and thinking for months and months on end, and just get to work and start uploading. Like, all you need to do, this applies to people who have not uploaded videos but have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that. And then on your 101st video, we'll start talking, like maybe you can get some views, but you know, your first 100 are gonna stop. There are very freak cases like Liza Koshy or Emma Chamberlain who have really good personalities, and it doesn't take them as many videos. And it's just like people who are 7'5" and making the NBA. Like, yes, there are freak cases you can find, but for the average person like us, you know, who don't have these exceptional personalities and, you know, backgrounds in filmmaking, just make 100 videos, improve something each time, and then talk to me on your 101st video.
Well, the improve something each time is the tricky one. How do you improve something each time?
The second one, just, I don't know, put more effort into the script. The third one, try to learn a new editing trick. The fourth one, try to figure out a way that you can have better inflections in your voice. The fifth one, try to, you know, study a new thumbnail tip and implement it. The sixth one, try to figure out a new title. There's infinite ways. That's the beauty of content creation online. There's literally infinite ways, from the coloring to the frame rate, to the editing, to the filming, to the production, to the jokes, to the pacing, to every little thing can be improved, and they can never not be improved. There's literally no such thing as a perfect video.
Item number 1 is that no one cares about your videos. This is 2 categories of people who do not care. Number 1, your friends and family do not care. And number 2, the audience also does not care.
When people come up to you and they say, Casey, I'm thinking about being a YouTuber. What advice could you give me, a young up and coming creator, if I wanted to do what you've done for so many years? Casey, what advice do you give me?
I hate it. My response is always why. No, like let's put
it's a great response.
If you asked me that question, then like let me, like that's a big question. You're asking me to do work right now.
Yeah.
Why? And if their answer is anything other than like, there's nothing I love more than making videos, or like I grew up here and nobody knows about X, you know, like there's some genuine passion, whether it's artistic or sharing a perspective, anything other than that. If it's like, if the word Mr. Beast is anywhere in their answer, my response is don't.
Yeah.
Or Prime or any of that.
Yeah. Because that can't be the mission.
I got asked this the other day in the airport. I get asked this question sometimes, and it is difficult because like I too want to stress how difficult it can be if you don't love it. This kid came up to me, you know, what advice can you give me? I said, he's like, I want to make videos. I'm an up and coming guy. I said, okay, how many videos have you made? He goes, well, none yet. I'm thinking about starting. I said, all right, kid, you're what, 19, 20? Give yourself 10 years. Give yourself 10 years at this craft, making videos, posting them online, getting made fun of for at least 5 of those years.
Easy
and then
5.
Maybe at the end of 10, maybe you'll have a little bit of success. Consistency for me is my general advice for these people, but you are right. It needs to come from a place of like, kind of, this is what I love. It's just how I'm wired.
Patience is the other thing I say, because it's a little bit of a answer. Nobody wants to hear that.
No.
Like, what's the one piece?
Horrible.
Casey, what's the one piece of advice? I don't have time. I don't want to stop my skateboard. I just want to roll past you and give an answer. It's always like patience.
Yeah.
Do you have 10 years to commit to this? And they look at you like you have 3 heads. Yeah. They're like, yo, I thought Mr. Beast said, and it's like, nah.
I kind of wish I'd known before is that videos on YouTube are not actually free. People are paying for watching your videos. They're just not paying with their cash, they are paying with their time and attention, and those are 2 currencies that are even more valuable than money. And so when you're new to YouTube and you make a video and it doesn't get any views and you think, oh, the algorithm doesn't like me, it's not that the algorithm doesn't like you, it's that your video is not worth watching. People have not decided to click on that video, people have not decided.
Now all of a sudden your channel went from like, say 8 minutes of watch time
to 16 minutes of watch time if they watch another one. And it shows that this person is in your little watch web. It also gives you another ad impression. Like, that is the metric that YouTube cares about. Sure, you can ask them to comment, you can ask them to like, that's totally fine. But watching another video exposes them to more of your content and shows YouTube, I am a channel that keeps people on this platform for 16 minutes rather than just 8 minutes.
Yep, that's incredibly well said. And for everyone listening, 2 call to actions, it sounds like. One in the first third, then maybe the like. You don't want to ask them to watch another video and leave your current one.
Yes.
And the outro, just to clarify, is watch another.
Correct, yes.
As opposed to decision fatigue of like, watch, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, people don't do any of those. It's a meaningless call to action.
I know if I make this sort of video, it'll get this many views, versus more like, I feel like making this video because I feel like it. And sort of that, to me, that's always felt like a bit of a spectrum of like doing things because I feel like it versus doing things because I know they'll perform well. How do you think about sort of videos along that spectrum?
Yeah, so I think this is super lucky that the videos that I know will do well are the most interesting to me also because they're about probably a piece of tech that is so cool that I want to check it out anyway, right? So on one half, it's like, what videos will do well? It's the hottest gadgets, the most impressive new things that people haven't seen before, collaborations with really cool, interesting people. Those I know before we make them are like, oh, those are gonna do pretty well. And then on the other half is, what do I wanna do? And sometimes it's, well, I wanna check out this gadget. This seems pretty cool. Well, I kinda wanna talk to this person. They seem really interesting to talk to. And suddenly like they're like meshing together and it's kind of the same pool of things. So often, again, it's like I don't have that much pressure to like, I'm not into this video, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I know it'll get a lot of views. That doesn't happen too often for me because if I know it's gonna get a lot of views, why is that gonna get a lot of views? Because it's a really interesting piece of tech. Oh, okay, so I'm in.
And has that always been your attitude, or was that a thing that changed over time?
I think that's something I've figured out over time. I know that there are videos that I make that aren't going to blow up like the ones that are the most popular gadgets, but I still want to share them because I still think they're cool. And I think if I can make the video in a way that actually shows why I'm so interested in it, then it will eventually be interesting to people and will catch on. So I think that's something I sort of learned probably in the second half of making videos, which is that we can sort of justify pretty much any video we want to make.
Came in with this interesting device and I show the device. So every phrase has to be supported by footage that shows what's going on. And the more relevant the footage is, the better it is for the video. They have to be as relevant as possible because sometimes we go to Shutterstock and like we're talking about, a lot of students in the US, and then we have these faces that we've seen everywhere, like plastic acting, I don't know. Like you see, they're not relatable because they're actors and the production quality is amazing. But this is not what works for shorts. Something that's raw, something that is filmed with an iPhone, maybe worse quality. This is what people are looking for in that type of content. We experimented a lot with repurposed videos from YouTube. You can just tell that this video was not made for shorts. And you're like, why should I bother if the creator didn't bother creating a short specific video? And we noticed that once I switched to creating content specifically for short videos, that the traction has been tremendous.
Everyone has different audiences. So what works for Mr. Beast might not work for me, right? So what I did is like, I did my own little experiment. Like when I knew I wanted to get into shorts, I told myself I was gonna upload every day for as long as possible. And I think I only got like a week or two in. I didn't get that far, but the goal was essentially to upload as much as possible. Quantity is what makes quality. When I was doing that quantity, I would analyze my retention graph. And this is just like one example I'll just pull out for you. So there was one video after 5 days, I got, I think it was like 50,000 views in 5 days, right? Which on average, I usually get like 1 million. So I was not happy with the performance. And I pulled up the retention graph and I noticed on the last second, it was a huge dip. It was 70%. 1 second later, it was 45%, like a 25% drop in 1 second. And the retention was 83%. So what I did was I went to YouTube Studio. I trimmed off that 1 second. YouTube removed this feature, by the way. YouTube, please bring it back. But just by removing that 1 second at the end, it went from 83% to 88%. And the video went flying. And that's why like every second counts on a short, like every single second. Because when you think about it, let's say you have a 30-second short, right? If you lose 1 second, that's already 97%. That's 3 percentages. You know, if you lose 2 seconds, that's 6%. So when you think about it on shorts, like you're not just losing 1 second, you're losing double or even triple because that 1 second accumulates to 2 or 3% of the video.